Hello everyone, we are back with Glenn Velvet Reviews today, and this is going to be an update and an installation of my version of the leak detector that we did do an unboxing and a little overview of. Okay, now we're going to do the installation. You're going to see my modified version just because this is going to fit for my project, but I do this with everything. If you watch my videos, every time we do a job or a project together, we we go over stuff, we modify stuff, and we do a lot of stuff together if you notice. So this is pretty much what's going on with this. Now, this was the, it put the two AA batteries, so I took that out, put the two AA batteries in there, AAA batteries, I think, yeah, AAA batteries. There was no bracket or anything like that that comes with this. You can't just mount this anywhere. If you notice, on the back, it's made to be laid down somewhere, as you can see, because it has these back, like, legs on it, okay? Feet, whatever you want to call it. So that was the only thing about this, and I want to mount mine. If you've seen the job that we're working on, we want to mount this in the ceiling so that this way both floors will have no problem hearing the leak. Either it's downstairs or upstairs. I know this is Wi-Fi, but you know me, guys. I like to do redundancy. I like to make sure everything is the best that I could do it. This way, if it fails, you know it was meant to fail. Because if you tried, 50% more than everyone else tries, right? And then you fail, you already know that it was meant to fail, because that means on average, everybody's failing below you, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. So what I did was I took mine apart. There's, it's just a small Phillips head screwdriver. You take it apart, there's a little chip in the middle, and you're not going to want to drill through that chip, otherwise you're going to throw this out. So I found, guys, that right through here is a nice part that there's not a chip, that it won't touch anything. I pre-drilled it with a little... I pre-drilled it. It depends on the size of your screw you're using, but I tried to use a really small screw and one that at least looks a little bit decent, not a, whatever. So it kind of, this, I just put this one in, that's all I'm saying. So as you see, I was able to, drill through the front of this, and I wasn't, I found a spot that I was not going to hit the chip. So if you're going to do the same thing as me, guys, you're going to have to take this open, okay? You're going to have to take this apart, take it open, pull it out. Make sure you take out the batteries before you take it apart, okay? Take out the batteries, pull it apart, and then look for an area that you can drill through with a very small screw if you're going to mount it like me, okay? Or you can just put it in a pocket or strap it. I'm just letting you know what I wanted to do. A lot of these on Amazon that I saw were only 39 inches of a cord or a whip or whatever you want to say to the sensor. I need more than that. I need like 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, whatever feet I wanted, I wanted that, okay? So that wasn't going to work for all the ones on Amazon as I saw. So this was the best investment if you have wire left over. I have wire left over. I have some speaker wire that's going to work perfectly. You do not need anything, any kind of high amperage wire, nothing special, because it's just going to be a continuity setting pretty much between these two terminals. So what I did was, guys, see, I got the stake-ons on there. I had stake-ons that I was able to, that I found. They make these stake-ons, or, they have all kinds of different names for them, push-on pins, whatever you want to call it in the electrical field. But we use them in HVAC and use them in a lot of places. Now, these come in all different versions. Now, the rods coming out of here are round, as you saw. Remember in the video when we did the unboxing? These are going to be round. So you need to find something that's going to slip on there. So I tightened these up to a cone shape. Okay, like a cone. So this way, the more I push on, the tighter it got. So now it's nice and tight, and they're on there. And what I'm going to do is get a piece of wire. This is the female. We're going to have the male go into the female. And this way, if this breaks or anything, I could just change this out and change the wire easily, okay? And remember, guys, also you watch my channel, I always show you guys that I like to plan for the future. That's how I like to do it. We like to think 10 steps ahead, right? So let's plan out that I can make this now. I take this out, get a new one. I could just plug the wire in, and then I don't have to waste time, and we can move forward as a group. We can move forward as a team, get better projects, and we can, advance in life together, right? Because that is the plan. So what happened was I drilled through, I found a perfect area. See, the screw comes through. So I'm going to mount mine up on the wall and drill right through, and then we're going to run the wires in there. So anyway, I forgot to show you. So this is the wire that I found. My dad, he passed away. God rest his soul. So he passed away, my father, and there's stuff all over that you can find that he was always like storing stuff. So anyway, I got this. I'm gonna cut this to size. Regular speaker wire is gonna work perfect. We're gonna crimp the pieces on there. See, so these are the pieces that I'm gonna use right here. We're gonna crimp those on like that, and then we're gonna push them in there. And we're gonna be good and run the wire down. So let's continue with that. All right, so we're just going to crimp these on really easily. If you guys got a crimper, this is what it looks like, okay? There's all different models. This is just Craftsman. I probably picked it up. I guarantee you I got this on clearance because you guys, if you've been out walking around Home Depot or Lowe's, oh man, the girlfriend, the wife, oh yeah, go pick up one part, I'm just gonna go pick up this piece of tubing. You go there, you're there for an hour, you find this on clearance, you find stuff on sale, and you're like, whoa, half price, it's mine. So that's the same problem with me. So I guarantee I got this half price at Lowe's because Craftsman's not at Home Depot, it's only at Lowe's. So we're gonna crimp this on really quick, okay? They have the colors in there that you can easily use it. Now, when you're doing the crimp, guys, make sure the pin is on the right side just to get a better crimp. It will crimp the same the other way, but to do it the proper way so it doesn't break the wire and eventually it can fall out with vibration or anything like that, which will be a little crazy. I just think that way because I was in the HVAC field. Lots of vibration. You have to plan stuff out because that compressor, is shaking like crazy. And some of those compressors are like 5 horsepower or even more. I don't remember. They were big when I was working on. So anyway, let's see. So you kind of want to see where the slit is. So yeah, guys, when you do this, you want to make sure it's done properly. Like I said, the slit is there, and you're going to want to make sure when you put that in, you can, put the slit the proper way facing, upwards like this. Because if you do it this way, guys, you have a potential of not crimping it properly and then also breaking your wire and making it a lot thinner and, not as, make it thinner and it's not going to make it as strong as it was, okay? So what I like to do, guys, is I like to strip my wire as so. Okay, this is what I do in the field. Twist it up. All right, so yeah, you twist it up, bend it over, okay, and now you got double the wire right there. And then I would do mine and stick it in. Just because these wires are small, you're not going to do that with a lower gauge. With a thicker wire, you're not going to do that. But these wires are thin, and this works better in the field. I'm telling you, I've done it so many times. And then you could stick this in there and just crimp it on really easily. Don't push it on really hard, otherwise you're just going to push the wire back and you're not going to have the same connection, okay? If it starts to get a little tight, guys, you give it a twist, it goes right on. Don't just jam it on and push it, okay? And that's it. And then you're just going to give it a crimp the proper way, like I told you, and you're done. All right, after you do your crimp, always give it a pull, guys. Always want to make sure it's good in there, because if it falls out, then it's useless, and then you have a call back, and you're back to fixing something that should have been fixed the first time the right way, right? So then if you have to go back on stuff, you're not advancing, right? That's not the plan to go back. So let's put the same one on, do this, and then like I said, these are going to plug into there. We're going to run the wire down next. All right, everyone. So we are back with the installation review of the updated and the installation review of the leak sensor of what's going on. So let's get this installed. So let me show you what's really cool. Now, I did clamp these on. I put these on pretty tight, but the way I did position these and put them on, because look, I had to do a little bit of a cutout. See right there? So I cut that out, guys, just a little bit in order to fit this in. And the reason why I did that, because now when I push this against that piece of wood right there, these are going to be pushed in nice and tight on here, and I'm never going to have to worry about these coming loose. Now, I would use a screwdriver to screw this in, unless you're going to turn the torque all the way down on your drill, because if you screw this in too tight and you break anything in here, then this is just garbage and throw it away, and now you got to order a new one. That doesn't make sense, right? So, I mean, like I said, you're in a rush, whatever, but if you're going to put the torque on there, I'm just going to do it real quick with my hand and just put it a little bit tight, because you just want it to sit there, and you can easily squeeze this if you put this in too tight and damage the entire inside. Plus, you got a speaker in there. I'm going to put mine probably like right about here, as low as possible, and I wanted to put it as close as possible to the center of the house. I mean, I could have went more to the center of the house, but the reason why, guys, is because this is going to rely on Wi-Fi. So if you have this all the way shoved in the corner of your house, the chances of it getting the Wi-Fi are going to be way slimmer, and this is not something you want to mess around. I mean, if you do, then you do. I don't know why you bought it in the first place then if you don't really care. I care, and this is a very big deal, so that's why I bought it, to save the huge headache later, right? I'm going to install mine right here, okay? And it's, you know, it's about 6 feet, 8 feet, you know, closer to the center of where the router most likely would be, because most people will put the router in the center of the house or close to the center. This way it can go everywhere. You're going to want this in an area that you can get to it right away, because if this thing breaks and it's going off like crazy and you're waking up the neighbors or you're waking up people in other parts of the house, no one's going to be happy at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? So you're going to have to get to this right away. If it breaks, if it does sense, I don't know. And you're going to want this easy access. So right here where this location is, you can easily put a ladder up in 2 seconds, lift up this ceiling and get to it. There's no like messing around playing games, okay? That's perfect, guys. I screwed that in. Now we can connect those wires in there and we're good to go. All right, let's just make these connections real quick. Stick them in there, stay-ons. You know how they work. Very simple. Just grab it, push it right in. All right, everyone. So that's pretty much what we're looking at. That's the final product of the installation. See, I put it in there, got that on there, crimped. I just pushed those on. Awesome. Now I'm gonna show you how we're gonna put in the sensor really quick. But like I said, we're gonna have to use stainless steel because it's got to be where the water is. But here is where that is right there. You're gonna run your wire to your location, okay? And then we're gonna get some stainless steel screws, and I'm going to show you the installation on that as well. Okay, be right back, guys.